So this is our 15th year, as I said, and to sort of celebrate that, to mark that anniversary, we've got emerging artists throughout the park today. They're out there in some of the tents, so please take a moment to stop by, take a look at their artwork, take a look at how they create the beautiful pieces. We also want to make sure that you stick around for the powwow, which is the highlight of the day every year. That's going to be a little bit later this afternoon in another part of the park. Also, to remind you, visit the environmental tent, because after all, that is why we are here today. I think Chief Tom Porter did an excellent job of reminding us of our responsibility to the planet that we live on. Even though this past week, our country, in my estimation, kind of dropped the ball. That's another matter. Also, visit the World Market tent if you can before you leave here. Just a reminder that there are Native people from around the globe, and take a look at some of their crafts and handiwork. And the sponsors tent, they are the folks responsible for us being here, Lotus Music and Dance. Please stop by if you can this afternoon at their tent. Also today, we want to remind you, for the first time this afternoon, Ibex Puppetry is going to be here. It's founded in 2000. They create environmental spectacles that advocate for harmonious relationships on Earth. And these puppets are created by Heather Henson and Jason Gullo. So please keep an eye out for them. This is the point in the program that we take a moment to recognize our honorees for the afternoon. And to help me start to do that, I'm going to welcome to the stage Jennifer, oh, she's already up here, Jennifer Hoppa, who is the director of the North Manhattan Parks and Recreation. That, of course, come on up, Jennifer, includes this wonderful park. She is going to help us introduce two of our honorees this afternoon.
Thank you, Sandra, and welcome to Inwood Hill Park. We've got 600 acres of parkland in northern Manhattan. We have the highest open space ratio of any other community in Manhattan, and we're so fortunate. Obviously, Inwood Hill Park is the crown jewel of that. 190 acres of park, open space where the Hudson and the Harlem rivers converge. Also boasts the 150-acre Shirakapak Nature Preserve. So either during the event or after, please go and enjoy the 150 acres of forest, 150 different species of birds that pass through. We have great horned owls. We have amazing geology here, and obviously incredible history that we want you to fully understand, appreciate, celebrate, and help us conserve. It gives me great pleasure now to present two awards to the outstanding individuals from the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, Nitchen. They are both founders of this nonprofit organization that is devoted to education and social support for Native Americans in the New York metro area. The first honoree is Miss Irma Guerre, who is the director of the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, Nitchen. She is not only an educator, she's an accomplished actress and singer, having appeared in lead roles on the Broadway stage. Please welcome Miss Irma Guerre. I'm going to present her with an award. Drums Along the Hudson, June 4th, 2017. The New York City Parks Department and Lotus Music and Dance honor the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, Nitchen, Irma Guerre, for outstanding contributions to humanitarian causes and environmental stewardship here in the Shirakapak Preserve, New York City. Thank you so much for your investment in our children, helping them connect to our incredible historical, cultural assets and heritage. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am so deeply honored to be given this acknowledgement by Lotus Music and Dance Drums along the Hudson, because we at Nitchen have been in existence for many, many years helping our indigenous families. The Children's Cultural Center of Native America continues to teach our children, all our children, not just the indigenous children, about our history, our culture. Thank you for continuing to support us in what we do in our communities.
Thank you, Irma. Our second honoree is the Educational Director of the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, Ms. Yvonne Wakim Dennis. Ms. Dennis is an award-winning author and has developed many programs for teachers and consultants with schools to improve their curriculum about Native people. Please welcome Ms. Dennis. Drums Along the Hudson, June 4th, 2017. The New York City Parks Department and Lotus Music and Dance honor the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, Nitchen. Yvonne Wakim Dennis for outstanding contributions to humanitarian causes and environmental stewardship. Thank you for investing in our children and in our future.
Trying to beat the rain here, but I just want to say I'm honored I'm really humbled to be honored for what I am supposed to be doing as a native, a woman, a New Yorker, and a citizen of this great planet. In 1917, Shirakapak hosted the first ever American Indian Day, which was the brainchild of Arapaho Sherman Coolidge, called for a pan-Indian movement. His organization grew into the National Congress of American Indians, and the celebration keeps going. So keep coming back to drums to honor the Lenape and the historic beauty of this place, and bring your kids to the children's tent and to our classes, and bring your classes to the Children's Cultural Center of Native America, and do something to wind the world well. Wonderful.
We are going to welcome back to the stage the Seneca Nation Alleghany River Indian dancers.
At this time, we're going to have our ladies come on out. And you heard that beautiful opening address, and we talked about, Tom Porter talked about giving thanks to Itina Yoenzide, our Mother the Earth. And we have this dance that goes back to the beginning of time. Our creation story talks about a woman falling from the sky world. That story says that as the sky woman fell, she was caught by a flock of birds, that these birds placed her on the back of a great turtle. Once she was placed there, she did a dance in a counterclockwise circle. Every time she made a complete circle, the world grew a little bit more. It grew into the great turtle island that we call North America. We believe when our ladies do this dance, even today, they are re-blessing Itina Yoenzide, our Mother the Earth. And we do this to honor our two honorees as well, as we thank these beautiful ladies for their hard work in their communities. And this is what we call the Women's Dance. We hope we don't get the hook. We're going to do one more song. That's short songs anyways. Next up, we're going to bring out all of our dancers. We're going to have them do a dance that in our language is called Genzaino. We give thanks for all things around us. And as we're right here by the water, we give thanks for an important source of food. This is what we call the fish dance. Genzaino inewa ang gadanoda.
Honoree of Drums Along the Hudson and president and founder of Hearts of Gold, Inc., Miss Deborah Koenigsberger. She will introduce the award to our next honoree.
Good morning. I'd just like to say that I'm extremely honored to have been asked to present this award to my great friend Rhonda Ross. Rhonda is a singer, songwriter, and international social artist who explores questions of race, gender, power, and spirituality through her art, described as neo-soul, with a strong pull towards jazz. She is the only child of singer Diana Ross and the founder of Motown Records, Barry Gordy Jr. Rhonda has an extraordinary talent, and her own unique artistic expression. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my dear friend, incredible talent, and wonderful, spirited human being, Rhonda Ross. Rhonda is also on the board of my nonprofit Hearts of Gold and is just so supportive, and it really gives me great pleasure to introduce her. Miss Rhonda Ross. It's really great to be able to give an award to your friend. It just gives you such a charge. Drums Along the Hudson, June 4th, 2017, New York's Park and Recreation, and Lotus Music and Dance honor Rhonda Ross for outstanding contributions to humanitarian causes and environmental stewardship. Park Preserve in New York City today.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna be quick because I actually feel pretty speechless. I feel really humbled to be in this space today and to be acknowledged by specifically Lotus Music and Dance and Drums Along the Hudson and Carl Nelson, my friend, and Deborah Koenigsberger, my dear friend, because to me, they all, and the people you've already seen on this stage and the people you'll meet today, are the ones who are doing the work. They're out there changing lives daily, and they are inspirations to me. So I'm just kind of following behind in their footsteps. Deborah mentioned quickly that she runs an organization called Hearts of Gold that helps families who are currently living in homeless shelters, helps them get a leg up and get some support and empowerment, and she brought me on her board to help with that. And of course, Carl does this, and Yvonne and Irma, who are my fellow honorees, the work that they're doing to make sure that our children know our history and are empowered by that. It's an inspiration to me daily. So I am honored to be here, and I'm thankful to be counted among this important group. Thank you. Thank you. Right, that's my son Raif, if you heard him. He said, "Go, Mom, go." Raif, can you join me up here? One of the reasons why it's so moving to me is because there is such a duality that we're living, right? We know that that things are difficult. This is Raif. We know that things are difficult and challenging here on this planet. We know that the current politics tell us that we are separate, that we should fight one another, that there's one group that's more important and higher and one group that's lower, and we know that that's not true. We know that there's an energy that surrounds us, and this energy we've been communicating with all day today, right? The energy that created the mountains and the streams and the water, the rivers, the moons, the planets, the solar system. This energy is actually in charge, and this energy is full of love. And I've written a song about this energy. It's on my current CD, which is called Drumbeat. My current CD, it's called In Case You Didn't Know. The song is called Drumbeat of Life. The CD, I have them. I'm going to be signing them. I'm going to be selling them and giving the proceeds back to Drums Along the Hudson. So please find me. I'll sign it to you. And I didn't bring that many, so come find me quick. And the proceeds will go back to Drums Along the Hudson. And this is a song that I wrote about that duality. We're waiting for the track right now. There we go. I thought it was applicable. It's called Drumbeat of Life. My son's gonna dance. And anybody else can dance. We got lots of space for the kids to dance. This song talks about the spirit that created. Come on up, Hanai Sayuri, come on up. It's about teaching the children. Dance, baby, dance. Come up and dance. This is all for you. All of this is for you. Come up and dance, come up and dance. They don't like our dances. They think it's 'cause we're young. But they don't know our rhythms, still unsung. They don't know we're praying. Come on up and dance as we rock ourselves to sleep. They don't know our ancient rivers or a love that runs this deep. She brings Josie, come on up here. Come on up, Josie. She brings in the day. She brings in the day. She brings in the day and darkens the night, the drumbeat of life. A day will come, yeah. Dance your dance. Yeah. Say thank you to the universe. A day will come. They don't like our laughter, 'cause we're laughing through our tears. They're scared to see our struggle through the years. Try to They try to kill our celebration, our adoration of the truth. She brings in the day. She darkens the night. She brings in the day. She brings in the day. She brings in the day and darkens the night. The trumpet of light. A day will come, yeah. Acknowledgement and honor. Thank you, thank you. God bless you.
Hi, my name's Wilfred Gibson, aka Gibby. I'm standing here in New York City at the Drums on the Hudson Festival. There's going to be a powwow here. There's going to be some vendors. There's vendors everywhere around here, and there's a lot of people here. asked me to do this little interview for the Standing Rock water protectors, and I was there for 8 months since September 1st. I stood watch with the Kichitas, kind of somewhat security on my own team, and took care of the camp, took care of the front line, tried to make sure people didn't get hurt. So I'm here now trying to spread awareness to the people about the importance of our water, our land, and our resources that we have, and then how important it is for us as natives and non-natives alike to be aware of how our water is treated, because without the water we are nothing. And that's the whole cause, that we want to do the best we can, for our Mother Earth, our relatives, our children, our grandchildren, and their grandchildren. So we're looking down the road for our next generations to come, and that's kind of what we're here for. We're trying to be self-sufficient and help ourselves, and not asking for donations or trying to be any way like that. So my name is Gibby, and that's about all I got to say for now. But thank you for allowing us to be here, and appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you.
Which is a traditional Wakan Taino instrument. And Taino and Wakan people from the Caribbean all the way up to Yucatan, coast of South America.
So the warm marketing, let's give the warm marketing a round of applause. We are the world. Yes. And let's see, and then of course I mentioned before, Lotus music and dance now. Let's give Lotus music and dance a round of applause while we're here.
And Barnes & Noble?
That's
why I like having the moment. You're a secretary.
Okay, just hit the red button.
picture of the three of them.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start because this story that this tree represents is about a 2,000 years old story. It is the story when democracy first started 2,000 years ago. And what it means is that when Iroquois people first was here at the beginning, they crossed over from the sky world. It is our tradition. There was, he gave us that, what we did a while ago when we did the Thanksgiving for all the living things. That's what our Creator and Mother Earth told us, is our relationship. The earth is our mother, and the sun is our brother. The moon is our grandma. The rivers, like the Mississippi, is Grandfather River. And so we relate it to all these living things in the environment, because that's what we're made out of. That's what we are, is that. The same thing. So everything was good for many years, hundreds of years, but then people forget. My cousin says, we're born, we learn, and then we forget. Then we got to learn again, and then we forget again, and so on. It keeps going. So as a human race, we were given the Thanksgiving, and then we forgot, because we thought that we were more important than what we were taught by the spiritual world. And then when we did that, there was discord and disunity and dysfunctionalism come, because we let go of our spiritual knowledge. But the Creator always sent another messenger, and He sent another messenger here, and He gave the Iroquois people the clans that we belong to. I'm a bear clan, and some people belong to the turtle clan, some is to the wolf clan, and eel clan, and beaver clan, and hawk clan, and so on. And so another Messiah was born. Creator sent him when we got lost, and He replanted the Thanksgiving, and then He gave us the clan. Then hundreds of years went on, and being human beings, we're born, we learn, and then what? We forget. And then as a society, we start to go down and decay. It gets kind of rotten. And then trouble starts. Arguments start. Turmoil and war starts. And so there became a need again. The Creator sent another messenger down. This time, the one He brought it, and He sent it, a little baby was born, and we call him the Great Teacher. And He's the one gave us what we call the four sacred ceremony that still goes on in every longhouse of the Iroquois nations. And then again, we were born, we learn, and we forget. So we start all over again. This time the next one come, Creator sent another baby to be born, a Messiah of peace and prophet, a prophet of peace. This is the one we call it the peacemaker. Man was born. And this man came to about 2,000 years ago. In the book of the America people, they try to say it's only about maybe 900,000 years ago, but they're mistaken. It was 2,000 years ago, you see. And so what happened is we will learn, we was born, we learned, and we forgot again. And this time was more severe. The turmoil was more severe. Every time we did that, it got worse and worse. And now it's the time now when it's the very worst. If we lose it as a human race, this time there's nuclear bomb. This time everybody's going to get lost and not return if that goes on. So everybody's got to be careful now for the kids so they don't get hurt, so their life don't stop in our lifetime. And right now, the man that heads this country, I don't know if he knows what he's doing.
He doesn't.
I've been trying to figure it out, and I can't get it.
It's not good of it.
So that means there might be trouble coming on the horizon. Well, that should not happen, so we have to be vigilant. Now, when 2,000 years ago, the people of the Iroquois nations began to forget everything. They don't know how to be grateful or thankful for the sacred things. They went on their own. They did what satisfied them. That was the most important. And so the Creator sent that little baby called a peacemaker baby. And when he got here, he was born in a Huron village. Huron, Wyandot people. And the Wyandot or Huron people and Senecas and Mohawks and Onondagas, they couldn't get along. We couldn't get along with each other, but with the Huron, it was absolute no good. You put a Huron and a Mohawk or Seneca with a Huron, in 5 minutes, one is going to be dead. The other one's going to live. They'll kill each other. That's 2,000 years ago. And not only that, they were our most deadliest enemies, the Huron, of the time. But not only that, but Mohawk fight Mohawk. Oneida fight Oneida. Seneca fight Seneca. Seneca, Mohawk fight each other. Everybody fought each other. Even nephew fight on his uncle. Sons fought their own father. And they disobeyed their mothers. And the men began to have war chiefs. The nations developed war chiefs, not peace chiefs, war chiefs. And the war chief that they have was they became cannibals. They don't kill somebody, they dismember them and they cook it and they eat it. That's how bad it got 2,000 years ago amongst the Mohawks and Seneca and Onondagas and Cayuga people. All the Iroquois did that. And the one who was the most fiercest, the most vicious, became the war leaders. And those war leaders, the top war leaders, were the biggest cannibal. They don't just kill you, they eat you. That was my great-great-great-grandpa and grandma time. But that's what the Creator does not want to happen. And we did it. We went against the spiritual of the world. And so the Creator, guess what He did? The Creator and the Mother Earth, they chose, guess who? For this little baby to be born. He chose Huron nation, our enemy, our most fiercest enemy. That's where the Creator chose for them to give birth to this little baby. And then He wants this little baby to grow up. And He gave him the power. And He gave him the brains to think. How do you convince the biggest enemy the Huron has is the Senecas and Mohawks and Onondagas and Cayuga Oneida? How do we get them to stop fighting, to stop killing, to stop cannibal? How? And so this young boy grew up. And when this little boy was a little baby, she moved away from the Huron's village. Because in the Huron village, they too were fighting each other. Brother against brother, cousin against cousin. And there was no stability. This is 2,000 years ago. And so this one woman, she said, I don't want to raise my little girl in the environment of fighting and arguing and gossip and calling down other humans. It's not right. So she packed up all her stuff and put it in a blanket and tied it up. And she took her little daughter and she left the village so that her daughter won't see argument as she grows up to be a human, and she will become argumentative too. So to save her daughter, she went in isolation and left the village. And so she took her hunting bow and spears and what she uses, clay pots to cook with her little daughter, and they went in the big woods. I don't know how far from the main village to get away from that. And they isolated themselves for many years. And that woman didn't need no man to hunt for her. She don't need no man to fight for her. No man to fish for her. No man to hunt the deer. She did it. In those days, they say that women of those days could outrun a deer. And when they outrun the deer, then they hit the deer on the head with that club and they cook that food. That was a normal woman in those days, not men. They were even more fast than that woman. But a woman could outrun a deer in those days. I guess you could say that was the good old days. Well, anyway, she isolated her and her little girl. And because she did that, the creative power of the universe noticed everything. And so that creative power we call creator. He seen that woman, what she did, that she loved her daughter so much that she went away from the trouble. And that's how come the Creator chose that woman, her daughter, to give birth to this little baby that's going to be called the peacemaker baby. But when that woman became pregnant, and there's no man around, there's no man anywhere she can get married or nothing. So, but that woman, her daughter, got pregnant, and she started to get bigger. And there's no man. And so the mother asked her daughter who she loved, how come you're pregnant? Who's the father of this baby? And that woman never seen a man. And how she became pregnant is through the spiritual of the universe. They call it the wind from the south, west wind. Made her pregnant. They carried the sperm for a baby to be born, and it come to her. That's how she got it like that. But the mother don't believe her, because there's no way a baby can get born unless there's a man and there's a woman. And another, you can do all you want, you can't make a baby unless it's a man and a woman. So that daughter, when she was asked, who's the father? And she says, I don't know. But you know, the mother, she said, what do you mean you don't know? How can you not know that? Who's the father? She said. And she said, no, I don't know. And every time she said she don't know, she was telling the truth. Because she was spiritually. Because this baby is going to be a Messiah of peace. So for 9 months, since that baby was noticed, since the mother noticed, it's the equivalent of turning the switch off in the light at nighttime and it gets pitch dark out. She turned her feelings off of her daughter, who she loved her so much. But when her daughter couldn't answer who's the father, the mother thought she was lying. And so she turned off her love and her compassion to her daughter. And that's the time when her daughter needed her the most. Because when you're pregnant and the baby coming, you got to know what to do. You have to be almost a miracle worker. And somebody got to tell you. And that mother turned her back on her daughter for all that 9 months. And so pretty soon, even at nighttime, the lodge was up on the hill like here, just like here, exactly like here in Wood Park. They had a lodge up there, and the mother told her daughter, when the sun goes down and nobody will see you, I want you to take those clay pots and go down to the bay and fetch water for the next day. And the reason you'll do it when the sun goes down, so nobody will see you're pregnant. And nobody will know that this baby is coming. That's what she did to her daughter. And she was mean to her daughter. And she really loved her daughter, but she was mean. Anyway, 9 months came and the baby was born. Beautiful little baby boy. You know, Indian babies, when they're born, they got a black hair. The minute they're born, they need haircut right away. Those are Indian babies. No such thing as a bald-headed mohawk baby. Always got big hair. That's how this baby was born. And you know what the grandma did now? The mother was laying on a bearskin blanket with the baby right here. The baby is drinking milk from the mother. And the mother goes over there and she grabbed that baby away from the mother and bundled it tight. and she went down the bay. It's winter time, and she dug a hole in the ice on the St. Lawrence Bay there at the Bay of Quinte. And that ice about that thick, and she made a hole. And she took that little baby who don't have a father, and she put it under the ice in the river. And she used a long pole, and she pushed that bundle way under the ice. She says, now nobody in the world will know that this baby was born, because this baby must come from an evil and a witchcraft, because there's no father. So something that's evil made it. And that's why she wanted to get rid of that baby. And she put it under the water. And when she came back and she go up the hill through the bushes where her daughter lived, she heard a whimpering of a little baby. And she walked in the lodge, and there her daughter was laying with the baby in her arm drinking milk from the mother. She just drowned that baby. But that baby had a power. You can't kill it because its creator sent it. You swallow it. And then that grandma got so nervous, she said, oh my gosh, this is really a witchcraft baby. That's who the father is. It's evil. And so what she did is she dug a hole outside and made a grave. Then she took that little baby and put it in that grave. And he's living yet. And she covered it with dirt. And now that will destroy this evil baby that was born. There's no father. And when she went back to the house, her daughter was laying there, and that little baby was sucking on mother, eating. And she looked and she jumped and she was so startled, because this is the second attempt she did to destroy that baby. Then the third one, she said, even if it's evil power of the witchcraft, I know, the mother said, that the only thing that can destroy the witchcraft and the evil is fire. So she went out and she gathered all the dry limbs and grasses until there was a big pile like this. And then she lit that up, and the flames were just a-dancing. And then she went in that lodge and she grabbed that baby away from the mother, bundled up again. And she put that baby on top of the dancing flames. And she stood there until that baby turned to charcoal and made sure that the fire burnt her grandson to death. And now she says nobody will know that this baby ever existed. And when she went back to her lodge, and she went in the lodge, again that little baby was in the arms of the mother, and she was feeding the baby from her breast. And that grandmother looked and she says, now I don't have no other recourse. I don't know any other way. I tried everything I ever knew how to destroy evil, and I can't do it. And so she sat on her bed in that lodge, because she just bewildered of what to do. And as she was holding her head, thinking about her situation, all of a sudden she heard the bushes move. You know, like when a big moose comes with a big horns, it makes the bushes all move. It rattles the bushes. But this was in a lodge. And she looked up, and before her stand a man she never seen before. This man, he was a handsome, handsome man. I mean, if you were to carve a sculpture of a human man, it was perfect built, physical. Handsome too. She never seen it before, this man. And this man stood before that woman. And he said, you evil old woman, how come the Creator chose you because you loved your daughter so much that you moved away from the evil of the villages? Because you loved your daughter. And now look what you do to her baby, the one that you love. It doesn't make sense. So therefore, I'm going to put you on notice, old lady. If you do anything like that to hurt this baby, I'm going to put you the same way. You like to get burnt? You like to go under the river and the ice and drown? What you did to this baby? I will do it to you too if you continue this. Because I want you to know that the father of this baby is the creator. The creator of the universe sent this baby because he wants the war to stop. He wants bloodshed to stop. He wants hatred to stop. And that's why he sent the baby to you, because you like peace and you don't believe that kids should grow up in turmoil. And here's what you do. And he says, so old lady, what I want you to do is to ask for forgiveness from the Creator and the Mother Earth, what you've done to your little baby grandson. And then your daughter's laying over there with her baby. Her heart is broke because when she needed you the most for 9 months, you shut her away and you turned her off. And worse, you attack your own grandson. That's the evil, what you do. So what you have to do now is ask Creator for forgiveness and to pledge that you will never hurt your grandson again from this day forth. And then I want you to go see your daughter. And your daughter loves you, but you throw her away. And I want you to go face your daughter and you apologize how you have treated her during her pregnancy. She gave birth all by herself, and both the baby and the mother is fine without you, because the Creator sent it. That's why. And so that woman, she looked up and he was gone, disappeared, that man. And so she thought what he told her, and when she thought about it a little while, she knew that he was right, and she believed. But she didn't know that before, that the Creator sent him. So you know what that mother did? She said, Creator, I'm so sorry what I did to my daughter. I'm so sorry what I did to my grandson. I thought it was evil that brought him here. I didn't know you sent him to me. But now he told me, that man, that you sent him here. Now I understand why I couldn't destroy him. So now, Creator, give me the power. Give me the courage that I can go see my daughter. And I can hold my daughter again with the love I had before. And she can look at me as her mother that loves her again. And the Creator touched her and gave her the power. And she went over there and she see her daughter laying there, and the baby is in between. And she went like this, and the daughter go like this, because she thought she's going to hit her or take the baby again. So but she said, my daughter, she put that woman, old lady, put her arm around the daughter, and she says, I didn't come to hurt you. I came to apologize how I treated you all the time you were carrying the baby. I came to tell you that the Creator sent a message that told me that the Creator is the one, is the father of this child that you carried. And so she said, I'm asking you, my daughter, if you will forgive me what I did to you. And if you don't forgive me, then I deserve never to be forgiven for what I did. But of course, the daughter was for 9 months waiting for the mother's attention. So she was dying for that. And she said, yes, my mother, thank you. And she hugged her because the baby's in between. And she apologized to the little baby. And that's where she said, from here on, I will never hurt you again. And I will be here day and night to help you grow, nurture, and become strong, so that you can deliver the message of peace, righteousness, and the strength to live. That's the message of the great law. And he said, and so he said, he grew up. And you know that peacemaker, he made a canoe out of a stone, marble stone canoe. And his grandma told him, don't make a canoe out of stone. It's going to sink. You make it out of birch bark or elm tree. He says, no, Creator told me it's got to be made out of white marble stone, hard stone. So for years he carved that stone canoe. And Grandma said, when you finish, we're just going to laugh when the canoe goes down under the water. So he did go up and he finished. And he's ready to go. And he told his grandma, I'm going now. And I'm going to the roughest people in the face of the earth, where the sun comes up. And that's the Mohawk people. They're the meanest and the cruelest and the most cannibal people there is on the face of the earth. And right with them is the Senecas. And right with them is the Onondagas, the Cayugas, and Oneidas. They're all like that. But the worst is the Mohawk.